Greetings and welcome one and all to Reassembly, where our fleet is currently pushing asteroids around. Capricorn, stop. I know you're hungry, you are always hungry, you're more hungers, but that is too big. You cannot fit it in your mouth. You're not even shooting it with your lasers anyway. Ah, my lord. I knew letting him watch the Transformers movie was a bad idea. He goes around now thinking he's Unicron. My goodness. Right, okay. We are going to be building a new ship. Or rather, we're going to be rebuilding an old ship into a new ship. I was contemplating working on the fighters already, but no. You see, I feel we've been neglecting poor Flying Staplers here. All of this awesome stuff that's been going on, and Flying Staplers just been there watching everyone become better. No, it ends now. Flying Staplers deserves more. Flying Staplers deserves to have a better ship as well. So we're going to be upgrading our Flagship in this episode. Now the Flagship is still going to have to be a capable combat vessel. It is also going to have to be a capable factory vessel. But it needn't be this large, this small shielded ship which kind of needs to get in close to fight anything, but is just drastically outgunned by everything else in the fleet. What I'm thinking with this is, I'm thinking of Flying Staplers kind of as the leader of an army, and so she is going to be issuing her orders from afar. That is the guiding principle that I'm going to be going for this build. We want another 3 of these. Now, there are a few things that we are definitely going to want. You can tell that I'm putting a lot of power here, and that's because Flying Staplers is going to be fairly heavily shielded, but also the weapons of choice that I've decided for the Flying Staplers are going to be fairly power hungry. This is probably not even going to be enough, but we'll see what we can do. Now, we need a shield section, we need thrusters, we need a lot of things to make this build work. Let's go with a section of these blocks along here. Let's grab that, move that down. There we go. We'll build up a thruster cage. In fact, we'll build quite a large thruster cage, I think. Just so I've got something to base this on, I think we need another one on this side. There we go. So that's an awful lot of forward thrust right there. We'll have another power plant. Oops. There we go. Hidden back here. Actually, you know what? Let's swap these positions. This one can go there, and this one can come down there. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Right, we want to build this out at the back of this thruster section. Now, of course, the Flying Staplers has to be a mothership. So, we are going to want a factory right at the back here. We may have more thrusters back here, but the first and foremost concern is having that factory. Now, the center of mass is all the way back there. That's going to change. I'm not going to make the Flying Staplers a very long vessel. It's still going to have the general shape that we had there, but I want to get this set in place first. We'll need about this many thrusters for the reverse thruster section up here. There we are. Now, we're going to want to expand this out. Would that fit in? Oh, it will. I'm actually a little bit surprised by that, but it doesn't really look right, so we're going to do something a little bit different there. We will have these expanded out. There we go. So we've got our shielded factory section protected at the back here. There we are. Now what I'm thinking is we're probably going to want extra thrusters. How about we shrink that down? Pull you... wait a second. We could use these. That might work a little bit better. Yes, I think it does. I think it does. That does cut off a little bit of the factory build potential, but I think that looks better on the whole. I will have some thrusters here. Let's just build those out there. So a little bit of extra ability to turn there. Then we are probably going to want to build out... Can we have just a little thruster claw there? Yes, we can. But I'm going to want some turning thrusters on this side as well. So, if we do this... I know that I'm blocking this in a very odd way, but this should give us fairly good turning potential. Actually, I can get rid of that, build this up. In fact, at this point, I could happily use an upscaled one of these. There we go. Then just expand that out, like so. There we are. So we've got some turning potential. Not sure about the shape, but we'll have to see about that. We could bring that down. We could have quite a lot of thrusters along the side here, giving the flying staplers increased maneuverability. We could nestle that in, perhaps? Yes, okay. Now, this will give it an ability to strafe, which isn't exactly what I want to build. We'll see. I will probably, if I'm honest with myself, change that. We don't want these. And we want to copy that, strip these two away, then mirror this. Nope, that's wrong. All of it, please. Just connect. There we go. And rotate around. There we are. Okay, I think that's given a nice, actually a really nice shape to the flying staplers back here. I actually much prefer that. I like the kind of the dips and curves going on there. Okay, we need to continue with more thrusters around places like this, I would say. So we'll build this, grab that, pull this down. I want a lot of maneuverability for the flying staplers, because the flying staplers currently has tremendous maneuverability. So I don't want to lose that, otherwise it'll take me ages to relearn how to fly her. There we go. That actually looks okay. I didn't mean to take those. There we are. Okay, we're up to almost just coming up to around half of the allotment of resources that I'm going to have to invest into this. That isn't so great. You know what? We're going to take this away and we're going to build this out so that I can connect it to a few other things. There we go. Build that there. Let's get another shield cage going. We'll build this one here and here. There we go. We've got complete shielding. That is what we want to see. And then some more armor at the front as well. Now, the one thing that we've got a problem with at the moment is the flying staplers has no capacity for resources, like very, very low resource capacity right now. We're going to need a couple of these at max size. Would they perhaps be better along the side? How much room would this take up? Would take up more than we have to offer. Just slightly more, though. Not a whole lot more. Is there a way that we would be able to fit this in there? That's what's going through my mind right now. Let's get that rid and expand that over and bring these down and see if we could get this in some way to connect meaningfully here. I think I'll be asking for a lot. But let's give it a try. We'll connect that like so. Connect this like so. I really dislike that connection there. Let's see. If I have that connected there, can't quite do the same there. No, we need to build this out in a little bit more of an interesting way, I think. So let's grab this, drag it across. Too many. Too few. There we go. And get rid of that. Now, let's see how we can connect these. There is just not quite enough room. But if we were to shave a little bit of room off of this, we could do it. Okay. Let's do that then. Shrink that down. Have this continue on down here like so. Then pad this out along the side there. Alright, I mean, it's certainly not ideal, but at the same time, it's not terrible either. No, we don't want that there. How about this instead? Would this be able to fit expanded? Yes, it would. It almost looks like it's fitting intentionally. Almost. This one would fit in there. How about we shrink this down? Would that fit in there? Not quite. Would this fit in there? Yes, it would. Alright, we're getting somewhere. Very slowly. Very slowly indeed. But we have something at the very least. You know what? Perhaps I should sacrifice one of these. Bring a shield over. Perhaps on both sides. We'll put some more power elsewhere. Perhaps even down here, honestly. We could do that. Let's move this around a little bit. Make a spot for a new power generator. We'll have a power generator right at the back there. Get rid of... Ah, wait, that's not going to work. Drat, damn, and blast. I should have done that on this side. Hang on a second. We might be able to still create that effect. Yes, we can. Just not quite in the same spot, but we can make it. Okay, that'll work. So rotate it so it's facing this way. There we go. Right, I'm kind of liking what we've got. We've got something at the very least. Let's drag that up. Now to copy this design over. There we are. And all of this as well. And mirror. There we go. And slot this into place. Fantastic. Okay. So the flying staplers now has a significant capacity for resources. Up to 4,000 at the very least. Get rid of this. I want to get rid of that. I mean, it's not ideal, in my opinion. We could probably do this a little bit better, but at the same time, I think it works. Okay, we want more power still, though. Quite a lot more power. The weapons that we're going to be putting on the flying staplers are going to be incredibly power hungry. Build this out. There we go. And up here as well. We're going to want some sort of shape here, though. Should we have more of these thruster cages? Actually, might not be a bad idea. And rotate that around. I mean, all of this turning is away from the center of mass. So it'll certainly work. Might not be pretty, but it'll work. Okay, so currently the Flying Staplers is a factory vessel. I'm not entirely happy with this shape, though. I think the Flying Staplers needs to be a little bit more beautiful than this. Or deserves to be a little bit more beautiful. Let's move things around. We'll bring that up there. Flash this out down here. There we are. And this one down here. There we go. Alright. So we've positioned that slightly differently. We'll expand that out. This will actually allow us to have a fair few more thrusters there as well, which is always a bonus. That there. I'm thinking we'll get rid of that. We'll have another set of thrusters. Or will we? That is the question. I mean, we could have this thruster cage just sat here, doing its thing. I mean, ideally, I would very much like to keep these internal to the ship. Let's expand that out again, maybe. About there. And shrink it down. Okay. Okay, I'm liking this. Yes. Not quite, because I do want this to just be covered instead. So let's try that. There we go. This I'm liking. This I am very much liking. Let's mirror that. Rotate it around. Fix it there. Okay. So we've got a bit more shape going on here now. Could we perhaps use one of these instead, though? So it'd give us something that we could build here, perhaps weapon systems or something like that. Alternatively, considering how long the vessel's becoming, let's move that away. Okay, we're going to have to get rid of this entire side again, which is a bit of a frustration. But it's for a good cause, damn it. Yes, grab that. Then copy this entire section. Like so. Pull that out. There we go. Rotate. Okay. Drag that down. Pull this out. There we go. We're starting to get somewhere now. And we can do the same thing as we did above here. Ah, wait. That doesn't connect in quite the same way. Drat. What about you? If I expand you out, will you connect in the right way? No. I'll just have to live with that, I think. Yeah. There we go. We'll just have to live with it not being quite symmetrical. I know, I know. Hurts my brain too. There we are. Make sure it's connected in the right place. There we go. Don't need you anymore. And we have that section covered. We could, at this point, get rid of that entirely and connect a larger thruster stack there. In fact, get rid of these thrusters entirely. Yes, I think this is a better idea. Right. Now that we've got this, we need to start work on the actual weapon systems that the flight stabilizer is going to have. We'll build this out. At the moment, I'm still kind of just blocking in the components. But we do need to start thinking more of the overall shape that we're going for at this point, I think. In fact, let's get rid of that. Expand this out to a full size there. Yeah, I actually prefer that. Oops. There we go. I think the front of the vessel should draw out a little bit. Something like this. Then maybe even larger, actually. From about there. Have another one of these. Just block that out. After all, this is the flagship of the fleet. We need it to be hard to kill. There we go. We'll probably bring this out just a little bit further. Same up here. But you will note, we haven't even built in the weapons yet. Part of this, I suppose, is building for the future, in that we're designing the vessel for expansion, but I'm a little bit concerned about the cost of it already. I do like that shape, though. That shape is fantastic. Let's bring this down and see where it connects in the middle. It's not going to quite connect the way I want it to. That is, in fact, a shame. That's fine. This whole area up here can be shields and weapons later on. We're just going to copy this down for now. There we are. Until I've settled on the full shape that we want. So we're going to have this tapering out there, but the overall shape is going to continue to grow around here. So if we rotate this around, really? I mean, it would have been good if you could have maintained your shape, but okay. I guess I know that happens when I do it like that. Bring that out. Like so, and fill in these side parts. Okay, I quite like the shape that we've got going here. I really like the shape that we've got going here. Let's bring that out just a tad, though. Now we just need to fill this area up. Unfortunately, these thrusters are now kind of in the wrong place. Which is always a bit of a pain when that happens. On the plus side, that does mean we could just put different types of armor in there. In fact, we could have stacks of thrusters set up in here. Would that fit perfectly? Oh, it would. Wonderful. Oops, wrong thing. There we go. Copy that over. Get rid of these. And perfect. Right, we can get rid of that then. Fill this instead with these components. So at this point, we've got a reasonable amount of thrust. We do need reverse thrust, much more reverse thrust than we have. So let's fix that. Draw that out like so. About 3 will do. And it's still not an amazing amount of reverse thrust, but it'll probably get us through. We could probably do with more forward thrust, and we can have that buried in the side here. Like so. Oops. No. It's not what I want to do. Right, okay, that actually looks pretty good to me. We're going to need a lot of... Actually, part of me says that should be forward and back. Right now, a very big part of me is saying that. So what we can do instead is get rid of this. Have 3 of these come up here. Since this is the center of mass currently, this will also actually help us with turning. Yeah, that actually works quite well. Get rid of that. Copy this entire stack over. Now, the reason why I wanted less forward and a little bit more reverse there is because, again, Flying Stapler is not meant to be getting herself into trouble. Flying Stapler is meant to be avoiding the trouble, ideally. Right. The shields and these thrusters could actually do with getting reversed. So let's grab that entire section. Then grab this entire section. Like so. Copy it down. And just rotate the position of those thrusters. We'll then drag away these two and replace it with that. Yeah, I like that. I actually like that a lot. We are going to change this. We want some more power in the middle, less out on the sides, because once that power is gone, we're kind of buggered. There we go. I'm not in any way, shape or form building this in an efficient way. I appreciate this. We will want to strip this aside. And then just copy all of this down. There we go. Right, the flying stapler should have a reasonable amount of speed at this point. We want some more shielding. Probably, I'm thinking one in the nose. Yeah. And then we'll place a couple of others around as well. That gives us our shielding there. Probably another shield here, honestly, on either side. There we go. Flying Staplers has a reasonable amount of shielding. A huge capacity for resources. A factory, but no weapons of any kind yet. Which is actually an enormous problem for us. We really badly need to fix that. But we're also going to need more power for all of these shields that she's got. And the huge amount of thrusters that she's got as well. Okay, a little bit of turning out there. Quite a lot of turning up at the top. At this point, it's time to start thinking about the weapons. Now again, we've got very little room to fit these weapons. Because of the silly way that I built this. And we need a fair chunk for each of these weapons that we're going to be using. So I'm probably going to have to skimp on some of the shielding around the rest of the vessel. Possibly even the shielding in here, come to think of it. Yeah, actually, I think that's a good idea right now. We'll drag that down. There we go. Pull this right down into the middle there. In fact, then we can get rid of this entirely and just have one large section on either side. Well, there we are. But, yes, railguns are what I'm thinking. Sorry about that. I suddenly was overcome with a sneezing fit and couldn't reach the mic in time. I will probably have to cut out a chunk there, but if I don't, I apologize to you in advance for the fact that your ears have now exploded. Okay, right, what was I doing? Yes, we have finished all of the shielding and the powering. Now all that remains is the arming. And I've alluded to the fact that we're going to be using a pretty powerful weapon in this one. The railgun. Very long-range, turreted sniper weapon, which really does, in my opinion, fit in with the whole... It's going to be, Flying Stapler is going to be sort of a general leading the army from the rear lines, designating the targets to be struck, but also participating. This takes a phenomenal amount of power to fire, 226 per shot. So as you can see, expensive. Now, there are a couple of places that we can put these in. In fact, one of them... Well, I suppose we could have them along the sides here, but they'll get shot off fairly easily. I could have them nestled in there instead. And there is certainly a part of that that appeals to me. We can have them at the front as well. There's lots of places we can put them. In fact, let's put the first one at the front. Now, the thing I'm going to try and do with this is actually properly build it in. Now, I typically have quite a lot of problems with this, but this is what you need. Specifically, you need to shrink it. This can grow much bigger, but you can also make it narrower. Now, dealing with this type of size, you need it narrower. If you're dealing with the double size, like a factory, you need it longer. So that one, typically speaking. But if you just nestle these in the corners, then it will allow you to fit this shape of block perfectly into a 3x3, and it'll be affixed on all 4 points. Glorious, is it not? We need to fill that in though as well. Let's get those lodged in there. Now, I suppose I could have that as point defense, but I'm not sure I really want to with that. We want another one further back as well. So we'll build this out and copy this entire structure down there. We want all of this. There we go. Did I not copy that front part? It doesn't appear that I did. Let me correct that. So that's 2. We're really going to want a lot of these. You know what? Let's reduce a little bit of the forward thrust. We'll pass that out like so. That way I can have 2 of them built at the back down there. And you know what? I really probably should leave this over here so I can just grab the whole structure. There we go, because I'm going to need to build this a fair few times. There we are. We're getting closer now to our power allotment. We'll have a couple along the sides as well, I fancy. Possibly 2 along there? Maybe 2 here, perhaps? No, I would prefer them to not be next to each other because of the way they are constructed. So I'll just grab this. We'll have 1 here, 1 there, there, and there. Oh, we're right on top of the cost now for this weapons platform. You know what? Let's get rid of this one at the front. That'll give us a little bit of room to build in some point defense, because I do feel a little bit naked without any point defense at all. There we go. So, what type of point defense? We could go for, like, auto cannons, flat cannons, defense cannons. There's all sorts of cannons we could pick. And I think we kind of want a mixture. So we'll go with some flak cannons down here. 1, 2. In fact, we're pretty much right on top of the amount that we can have, unfortunately. That's a bit of a shame. We could perhaps add in some point defense cannons up here. Around the outsides. Because the point defense cannons are actually crazy cheap. There we go. And we'll just fill this out. We're not going to have quite enough with the flak cannons, unfortunately. So we're going to have to lose one of those. But as time goes by, we'll be able to add more and more components to this ship. Right now, we're hurting for power, but we can have just over twice as much power in total once we've added everything. But I think we're going to end this episode with a brief test. Let's see how the Flying Staplers Mark II. Can I not? Oh, yeah, that's right. Mark II fares in combat. Oh wow! Let's just watch it build itself first. There we go. Slowly coming back together. It'll take a while. But, oh, there we are. Stop blowing up the parts the Flying Staplers needs. You scallywags, you. They're jealous, they are. Wow, Flying Staplers does actually look fantastic. Right, we are going to go in here. We're going to go for a quick test. Let's see how the Flying Staplers Mark II does against the Division Defender Mark II. 2 Mark IIs. Flying Staplers has an awful lot of ability to move. You've already lost some of your weapons, but you're doing okay on the whole, I would say. There we go, getting close. That's right. All of the weapons. Just volleys and volleys of railguns. I mean, they're not really meant for close range combat, but I suppose they do the job, especially when you've got that much armor. So that's not too bad. Let's see how you do round 2. And another good volley there from the railguns. They're actually firing much faster than I was expecting. Perhaps we could get some burst lasers once we've got the power. Some burst lasers on this for close range combat would be fantastically powerful, I would imagine. Awful lot of turning ability. Flying Staplers is able to dodge quite well. It's got a fair bit of speed for it for such a large vessel as well. Yes, I'm pretty happy with this so far. Not too accurate with those railguns, but on the whole, I mean, you're still applying a decent amount of damage at a fair range. I would have said that I was a little bit concerned when I saw all of those burst lasers on this vehicle, but you've handled yourself quite well, Flying Staplers. Quite well indeed. Let's see what the next one is going to be like. So you're against the B-Soft Hobbits. Okay, it's launching drones. Have to take care of those. Just need to get in close enough. You've got more than enough forward thrust to close the gap so that your railguns can engage. There we go. Just need to start taking out some of its shields. Come on, that's the way. One down. Need to keep up that firepower. Oh, lots of them going down now. Ooh, it's got its own fairly heavy weapons there. That's right. Now you've got it. Without its shields, you should be able to start applying a lot of damage to its components. Each of those railguns does quite a pack a punch, but you are taking a lot of damage from all of the little ships chasing you down, and those enormous shots that it's firing. Come on. Keep the shielding on your thrusters and you should be good. That is the rear thrusters. Mostly I'm concerned about the small ships right now. The drones that are constantly harassing the flying staplers. There we go. You've done a huge amount of damage there. You just need to start cutting away those shield components inside. Because right now, it is winning on points. There we go. I know that you can win on actual raw damage, or at least I strongly suspect you can. But, no, I think this little ship with its swarm is doing quite well. Quite well indeed. It's very, very well defended, and that's all it needs. It's got a little bit of a bite, so you don't want it to get too close and stay close, but mostly it's relying on its drones to do the killing. Well, Ubisoft, well done there. You win. We're not going to stick around for another because time has run away with me a little bit in reconstructing the flying staplers. But that is going to be the end of this episode. I hope you like the new flying staplers. I feel she is more than deserving of the title Flagship at this point. But we're going to have to see how the enemy fleets deal with her. Hopefully, they die easily. But at the same time, she's got this enormous fleet with her to back it up. So we probably don't actually have to worry too much. And look at how maneuverable she is. She's practically dancing in space right now. Pirouetting for us to also launch all of the shots. You know what? Let's hook up all of these to auto fire. Because I don't trust myself. That'll do. Let's get back out there. There we go. You should just basically keep shooting now. Fantastic. Right, that is it from me and from Reassembly for now. I do hope you've enjoyed this episode. In the next one, we are going to be working on building more little ships. But until next we meet, and as always, do take care.